We're back from the international break and we're back with another round of Barclays Women's Super League action to bring you, and we'll be featuring all the sides battling for a top 3 finish. Here's what's coming up on the show. The Reds of Manchester visited the Reds of North London as United travelled to the Emirates to face Arsenal. It was Derby Day at Stamford Bridge where Chelsea faced Tottenham. And a revived Manchester City made the short trip to Everton. Plus, we'll have the best of the rest of the WSL action in the company of Anita Asante and former Leicester manager Lydia Bedford. And we begin with two sides who've begun the season in fine form. Arsenal, they continued their perfect start with a 4-0 win at Lydia's old side Leicester last time out, while Manchester United's winning run came to an end at the hands of Chelsea.
Balti, caught that very nicely. Jordan Knox gets Arsenal level. Adriana Leon. And the home side have 4. And the third goal, Hayley Ladd. Corner delivery comes in and it goes all the way in as well. Blackstenius to make it 4.
3 in support here for Chelsea. One of them's James. And Manchester United back in the game. Cuthbert. Oh, the deflection takes the ball past Earps. Manchester United's run of clean sheets comes to an end, as does their unbeaten and winning start to the WSL season.
Watching on alongside an incredible 40,000 crowd at the Emirates was Mark Scott.
Well, Jonas Eidevall sees no reason to change a winning formula as the league leaders and unbeaten Arsenal remain unchanged after their 4-0 victory at Leicester earlier this month. Their form on the pitch means that Viviana Miedema will have to wait to make her much-anticipated return from the bench. She is named amongst the substitutes for the Gunners tonight. There is just the one change for Manchester United. Mark Skinner is able to welcome Anya Badger back to the side after a 4-game absence due to concussion. He says that Maria Torres-Dottir is unfortunate to have to make do with a place amongst the substitutes. Russo, nice turn. But couldn't get onto the ball, but has won it back well. Ella Toone now trying to slip it forwards. Galton, good hit and terrific save as well. Zinsberger across really smartly there after what was a very smart Manchester United move. Rousseau releasing Hayley Ladd, who gets the ball in, and Zinsberger's made a mess of it, and Manchester United lead. It's Ella Toone. Arsenal played themselves into trouble, and Manchester United had joy on that right flank once again. Russo delayed and then waited for Hayley Ladd to make the run. She's onside, no doubt about that. And Zinsberger here came and flapped at the cross and has paid the price for it. Manchester United will feel across the first half they're decent value for their advantage. Here's Toone looking for Paris. McCabe coming across. Paris! Well, she didn't ask for anything, to be fair. McCabe certainly wasn't going to get out of the way. Might have been a bit of a risky decision, but she didn't look too concerned, McCabe. Arsenal have won all 4 of their WSL games that have been played here at the Emirates, scoring at least 3 goals in each of them. But they've not quite been at it so far, and they've had just the 1 shot in the first half this season, which is their fewest in the WSL this term. Looking to make inroads at the start of the second half. It's opened up for Marnham! Oh, it's in! What a start to the second half for Arsenal. Frida Marnham has fired them level. It all came about after A surge forwards by Frida Maanum here, who is given the freedom of the Emirates. And her drive goalwards into Maya Leticia. Oops, as she stood and watched on in agony. Forwards by Caitlin Ford. Miedema. Ford. Here's McCabe. And swung it in beautifully. Oh, what a goal! Laura Wienreuter has turned it around for Arsenal. And it's courtesy of an absolute peach of a goal. Looked like the move had broken down there when Miedema couldn't find a way through. But what about this for a ball in from McCabe? It's a stunning finish as well. A goal dripping in quality. Zellum. Haven't found anywhere near as many spaces to work their way through in the second half as they did in the first period, United, but they've got themselves a free kick for a handball by Wubben Moy. Zellum's delivery is good. Oh, it's 2-2. Millie Turner turns up trumps for United. And just as with Arsenal's goal, the delivery and the finish is top draw. Zellum whips it in, and Turner got up highest. Russo steps in. Here's Toon. Lovely feet. And poked on now for Thomas. Garcia was screaming for it. It's still Martha Thomas. Good ball! Great save! Zinsberger keeps Arsenal level and denies Manchester United a last-minute winner. Lucia Garcia got decent contact on it. Well, it has certainly ebbed and flowed. United on top throughout the first half. Arsenal start the second half. Well, here's the chance, and Zinsberger gets down to deny Thomas. Well, two smart stops in quick succession late on may well have earned Arsenal a point. Going to have 7 additional minutes, so still plenty of time for more drama. And the header is in again! Would you believe it? It's Alessia Russo! Manchester United may well have snatched it in stoppage time. Arsenal undone by a set piece for the second time tonight. Oh, Russo did really well, but the defending leaves a lot to be desired. Take nothing away from Russo, though, who found the space and picked her spot. And are Manchester United picking up 3 points at the Emirates? Arsenal's winning run is over. It is a red-letter day for Manchester United, who pick up only their second ever win against one of the big WSL heavyweights in what was a heavyweight showdown at the Emirates. Full time, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 3.
It was amazing. I think it was a great spectacle from both teams for the women's game within this country, especially in a, it's an important period for us to showcase what we can do as well. And just an unbelievable performance from us. More importantly, I felt that we could win the game. I felt that even though we went 2-1 behind, I didn't feel like we had that mentality. I felt like we wanted to go back and take the game, and I'm so proud of all of them tonight.
Of course, it hurts a lot. We were very disappointed with our performance in the first half. I think it's better in the second half. Unfortunately, we concede on 2 set pieces, and football is like that sometimes, and it's very important in the game as well that we defend those situations better than we do. But if I'm looking for positives, I was happy the way that we managed to turn the game around, because first half I thought United was better than us.
I think after the second goal went in, we kind of came together as a team, and Mary was talking a little bit, and we all just knew that we could, and we wanted to win this so badly, and we just needed that little bit of an extra push, and then we went on to get the 2 goals and came out with the 3 points.
Lydia, an absolutely huge result for Manchester United. They really showed, actually, you know what, we're title contenders now, and to be able to do that in Arsenal and end that winning streak is massive for them.
Yeah, it's a really important result for Man United, and last time they turned out against Chelsea, that was obviously a 3-1 loss a few weeks back, so I think Mark will be really pleased with the response of his team today.
And it was a great start for them as well. They just came out of the gate, you know, it wasn't even, they didn't think about it being in the Emirates in front of that big old crowd. They were ready to go, not overwhelmed at all.
Oh, they came with intensity, they were front-footed, they were aggressive, they really established, you know, presence in that game, and that they meant to do business.
And this is the thing, in terms of looking at how they started, and the press and everything from Manchester United was really, really strong.
Well, again, it was a front-footed press. They pickpocket the ball there, and Galton gets an early shot. Again, Nikita Parris able to face up, forces the Arsenal defence to be facing their own goal, running backwards, and Toon's able to find the space in behind the 2 centre-backs here. And again, you know, it's almost not a nearly opportunity, but it lets Arsenal know, you know, that they're front-footed, they're creating chances. And again, the goal comes from a situation, a nice lofted ball into the box, late run from Toon. But Zinsberger has to do better here. She has to read the flight of the ball. You know, Lotte Wubben-Moy's focused on Nikita Parris is floating into the box there, so she doesn't see the player on her back shoulder, and it's maybe just a bit of miscommunication between the defence there.
And Lydia, when you think about this game, it was a super busy game in terms of the goals, the type of goals as well. It was so physical, but Arsenal responded quite well.
Yeah, it was a really positive response, and when Marlon picks up the ball in the middle, immediately she takes the opportunity to skip past Katie Zellin. She's on the front foot there, she's driving with the ball, and I think at this point, you know, you've got quite a tight back 3 in there for Man United, and I feel Maya Le Tissier could probably do a little bit more earlier on to engage the ball and make that shot a little bit more difficult, but obviously an unfortunate deflection, which every defender, you know, doesn't want to happen, that results in a goal.
Yeah, I think it was fortuitous for Arsenal, and Man United would feel hard done by, but it was a great reaction from Arsenal there.
It was brilliant, and then they went up, didn't they? For them to be able to do that at home, and thinking that this is the kind of Arsenal, that the team that need to be able to show that they can win this league.
Exactly, you know, you see Miedema comes into the game at this point as well, and they were creating overloads on the sides and trying to find balls into the box, and here you see that actually Man United have the numbers in the box to deal with this situation. It's a wonderful delivery deep into the box there for Wienreuter, who just makes the perfect contact to direct the ball into the net. But here, Garcia was a late sub into the game, and I think she wasn't quite switched on for that.
But this is a Manchester United side that we're looking at now, and it's a really revived Manchester United side under Mark Skinner, and they equalised here. And a late equaliser like this is pretty much game on, Lydia.
Yeah, I think 85 minutes, you know, Katie Zellin set piece, and we know she's a specialist, but I think Millie Turner does excellently here. She starts her run just off the back line, which gives her space to get that movement, and she finds a space across the front of Lotte Wubben-Moy, and it's a great finish.
And then United actually were relentless. They kept on going. The equaliser wasn't going to be enough here, Anita.
Well, Man United started the better of the 2 sides in the first half and finished the stronger in the second half. Here, wonderful footwork from Toon, gets the ball out to Martha Thomas on the flank here, and a little bit of individual ability here, where she's able to find that space in behind the Arsenal defence with a lovely delivery, and Garcia forces a save.
No, it's brilliant stuff there from Manchester United. And Arsenal are going to be frustrated, Lydia, in the fact that actually they haven't been able to keep the points here and look towards the bigger picture of the title.
Yeah, I think it's always disappointing to concede in the final moments of the game, but I think United deserve it based on how they've turned out in the kind of opening and latter stages of this game. And this finish from Alessia Russo probably sums up the day for Man United. Again, great movement. She's lost her marker, Caitlin Ford, and she's put it in the net at a key moment.
Brilliant. Well, to West London next, as Stamford Bridge hosted a London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham. The Blues, having won all 5 previous WSL meetings between the sides, they also welcomed back manager Emma Hayes to the dugout following her emergency hysterectomy surgery as part of her ongoing battle with endometriosis. Rachel Brown-Finnis and Robin Cowan were on commentary duty.
Two changes to the Chelsea team that beat Manchester United before the break. Yves Perisset replaces Niamh Charles, who drops to the bench. Pernille Harder was injured on international duty, so Jessie Fleming comes into the starting lineup. Sam Kerr has scored in all 4 of her WSL appearances against Spurs. Frank Kirby is fit enough to be named on the bench after missing the last 4 WSL fixtures. Spurs play for the first time since October the 30th. That was their 8-0 win over Brighton. Nicola Karczewska is out with an ankle injury, so Jessica Naz, who got a brace against the Seagulls, starts in her place. Drew Spence won 11 major trophies with Chelsea before making the switch to Spurs in the summer. Spurs still have a number of injury issues and named just 5 outfield players on the bench. Gorgeous day in the capital. Crisp, bright. Those inside Stamford Bridge will be hoping for another belter of a WSL game. Kerr rides the challenge away from Zadorsky. Sam Kerr, and it's in. Kerr, as she always does, finds her way to goal and gives Chelsea the lead at Stamford Bridge.
Well, in big stadiums, in big games, Chelsea have got big players. And there's not many bigger than Sam Kerr. Gets onto a speculative ball from Millie Bright, rides the challenge initially of Zadorsky, but just then threads the ball through. You can see 3 defenders retreating, although none of them put the brakes on. Maybe that would have Faith that have faced up, and Chelsea finally make the breakthrough.
Defensive record, though, for Chelsea hasn't been what it usually is. Just 3 clean sheets in the last 11 WSL games. They have given up quite a few more chances, and they might give up one here. Neville. Straight into the gloves of Berger. Good strength from Neville to win that back off Perisset.
Took the decision to go it alone.
Cuthbert. Beautiful ball over the top. Kerr sizing up her options and then eventually taking the shot straight at the goalkeeper. Perhaps could have taken that earlier.
She finds the space, and as soon as there's a turnover of possession, she recognises the ball can go long. She is bolting it towards Korpela in goal.
Eriksson helps it on to Wrighton. Corner kick. Wrighton with the outswinger. Cuthbert goes for goal. Oh! Erin Cuthbert with an absolute belter.
Well, what a beauty that was from Erin Cuthbert. From a goalkeeper's point of view, it's arcing away from you. It's awful. It gets further away from you the longer it's in the air. But Spurs don't deal with the second ball. Wow, what a strike that is.
Here's James. 2 on her, and she still managed to keep the ball. Down she goes, and that's going to be a penalty. Ashley Neville just got too close to her. A yellow card for Neville and a penalty for Chelsea.
Correct decision, Rebecca Welsh. You're trying to recover Ashley Neville, and the inevitable happens.
And this will be, you suspect, the game for Chelsea. Brighton sends Korpela the wrong way, turning into a dream afternoon at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea. 3-0 now.
Nothing really Korpela could do. A well-dispatched side netting, low and hard. And there have we got Chelsea's new penalty taker for the season.
Looks like it's going to be a fairly comfortable afternoon for Emma Hayes on her return. She says she won't be fully recovered until the new year. Korpela dealt with that well, although she's taken her time here and given it away. Wrighton is having her shirt pulled. Referee lets play go on.
Very easily and possibly should have been a penalty.
Brighton teasing ball in. Corner kicks, the decision.
Yeah, pretty well defended there by Spurs.
Taken quickly, James swings it in towards the back post. Millie Bright hit it sweetly, inches away from making it 4.
She'd have enjoyed that one, Millie Bright, if that had gone in. What a strike it was.
Here's Lauren James. Space opening up for her. Just past the post.
What a brilliant goal that would have been.
All the goals scored in the first half, and that's an error. Ayan, Ibogwu. Numbers in the middle here. Spence, best opportunity, and she's put it well over the bar.
Wow, what a chance for Spurs, and they carved it open brilliantly. Ibogwu gets all the time in the world to pick out a player. No one closing it down. Emma Hayes will have been incensed if that had have gone in.
And all over. A crucial win for Chelsea and the perfect result and performance for Emma Hayes' return to the touchline in front of just over 38,000 full-time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 3, Tottenham 0.
I thought we were superb first half, particularly. I thought the way we circulated the ball, the way we rotated, I thought there was a lot of things that we worked hard on in training that came out in the performance. So happy for the whole team.
Do you know what? I think we played some fantastic football at times. You know, we had a couple of opportunities from mistakes they made and didn't sort of punish them for it. So I think that's kind of where we are right now. But I think what it boiled down to is that when the opportunities arose, they were clinical and we weren't.
You know, Anita, Emma Hayes knows how to turn up for the big occasions, doesn't she? I mean, what a game to come back to. It was just brilliant to be. I was there today, brilliant atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time for her to return Stamford Bridge in front of a home crowd. A fantastic turnout as well, and a professional performance from Chelsea.
Yeah, professional and ruthless is another word I'd use there, Lydia. They didn't take any prisoners today. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They were really, really clinical in their football.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Spurs will be disappointed about is some of the mistakes that led to these opportunities that they were so clinical on. You know, there's a big space left there for Sam Kerr to exploit on the regain. Lots of recoveries from players, but not able to stop it going in the back of the net. You can see there the pass given away, and the space between the centre-backs is colossal. So they've got to be a little bit more clued onto how they defend that space, because, you know, Sam Kerr will eat up that space and take those opportunities when they come to her.
And Anita, you've played, of course, alongside Sam. You know exactly what that's like when she's such a difficult player to play against.
She really is, and I think the Chelsea players, you know, they're just ruthless when they get those opportunities. This is a fantastic finish from Erin Cuthbert on the edge of the 18 box here, the contact she makes, but she has too much time to take the ball down and actually take that strike on.
And it was a super busy first half. There was the penalty decision that, you know, at the ground looked very much straightforward, but on replay and watching that back, Lydia, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think we've had more time probably than most to go back and look at it and, you know, have a zoomed-in view. But I think on reflection, looking at it here, you can see that the moment actually where Ashley clips Lauren James is outside the box, and as a result of that, Lauren then clips herself. So both of those actions are outside the box. That's clear now with the view that we've got. So I think on reflection, Spurs will be disappointed that the penalty was given. But again, clinical, you know, it's a fantastic finish from Guro Reiten, and ultimately, you know, that kind of sealed off the first half.
Yeah, we were speaking about the fact that someone like Sam Kerr, she's just so intelligent in terms of how she moves across the pitch, in between the defenders, Anita, and like you say, it makes her tricky to play against, but you'd think by now people would have cottoned on how to do it.
You would think so, but you know, she's just such a clever player, and she's very difficult to defend because of her timing as well. The two centre-backs there get pulled apart, and she will exploit the space that you know teams give her. And again, it allows Chelsea to always have the option to play long in behind teams, stretch the opposition. She'll pick up space in wide areas and also find deliveries into the box as well. And she did this, you know, all afternoon. And again, you know, she gets between the two defenders, and you know, they're having to decide who's picking her up, who's getting contact on her.
Well, they've got a difficult game coming up next. Champions League, all to play for, Chelsea. But it's to Everton next, who are up against Manchester City, a side they'd lost all 12 previous WSL meetings to. Looking to change that was Toffee's forward Katja Schnoit, who joined the club in pre-season. The Dutch forward has been enjoying life in England under another summer arrival, Everton manager Brian Sorensen.
My teammates are really friendly, kind, helping me to settle in well. And yeah, we had a great start of the season, so we're excited to get out every day to train, get better. Yeah, and we're winning, so that's always fun. Yes, good. All teams in the league can compete with each other, so no matter who you play, it's going to be a difficult game, so you have to be at your top level. The standards in the WSL are really good. I feel like last seasons, a lot of steps have been made. Every team has become professional. Like, the level of games is so high. I think we have a good mix of young girls, girls with more experience, English girls, but also girls like me who come from abroad. And so far we've been communicating a lot with each other to get to know each other better on the field and off the field. And I think that's important. I think if you're good with each other outside the field, it helps you a lot on the field. I feel like since Brian came in, he had a really clear vision of how he wanted us to play. And I think during preseason we did a really great job in applying that on the field. But sometimes it was hard then to put it in results. And I think that we made that step in the league. We actually won games, we dominated games, really creating an identity of how we want to play and doing that well in the games. For me, I think it's important to get more on the ball around the box of the opponent. I think so far I'm a player who also really links up with players and needs a pass in front of the goal. But I think I can improve creating the chances for myself. So going on a 1v1, sometimes taking a bit of risk. The defenders so far are so much more stronger, physical than what I've experienced in France. So yeah, I have to step up to beat them in a duel, but that's only good.
Commentary from Walton Hall Park of Everton versus Manchester City comes from Sam Smith.
The Everton manager has made a number of changes to the side that lost to Man United a few weeks ago. Lonely goalkeeper Emily Ramsey gets her second start of the season. New signings Karl Holmgård and Elisa Stenovic both have an opportunity to impress from the kickoff. Gareth Taylor has given former Everton goalkeeper Sandy McKeever a second successive start, with Ellie Roebuck not even named on the bench. There is a rare place in the lineup for new addition Leila Wahabi. Lauren Hemp remains on the injury list and is replaced by Julia Blackstad, who gets her first start of the season. Everton in their home strip, attacking from left to right. Manchester City in the black and red diagonal stripes as they attack the goal to the left. Laura Coombs picks up, and already she's found Shaw. And it's fast and furious in the opening few seconds. And Everton goalkeeper Emily Ramsey has rather been ambushed here. Shaw, the league's top scorer, finds Kelly. Goodness me, what a start in just the opening 40 seconds. Casper Wright looking for Shaw. Shaw still has it. Shaw finds a way in, and that was a chance, an early chance for Julia Blackstad. Shaw so strong and physical, able to turn, and that's good movement from Blackstad. Shaw is through here, and she's onside. And that's just far too easy for Julia Blackstad. And the Everton defence were caught napping. And it looked as if Everton switched off. It came from Wahabi, Shaw was certainly onside this time. Unselfishly, just taps across to Blackstad. All too easy for Man City. They lead 1-0 at Walton Hall Park. Ball swung in. And it goes all the way through the City defence. And it will be another corner. Second corner for Everton. Can they make it count here? Some work to do. And somehow they've scored after all the pressure. And it comes from Reka Sevaka. Well, it was a good cross in. So many City defenders in there. But absolute joy for Everton. This is completely against the run of play. But Sevaka, almost 6 foot tall, manages somehow to get ahead to it. Blackstad to Coombs. Coombs now. And Shaw! She does it again. She's scored in every game this season. Coombs almost finding the net, but Shaw in the right place at the right time. And Shaw, who scored her debut goal in this fixture almost 12 months ago, finds the net once more. Everton just try and regroup as Castellanos sees Alexandri. Kelly in space here. And Coombs will have a go now. Oh, brilliantly cleared off the line. But relentless pressure now from City. Blackstad. And that's floating dangerously, and that could go anywhere. It's Kelly. And it still didn't go over the line. Blackstad on the follow-up. And this is fast and furious now. Huge pressure on Emily Ramsey. Audacious from Kelly here, and really well followed up by Blackstad. That is an excellent save from Ramsey. Outrageous, but great movement from the Norwegian international. And Beever-Jones has found some space here. Long ball in. Beever-Jones goes alone. 19-year-old, really impressing. Where was the Man City defence? Just slightly caught napping there. Maya through, finds Gio, and McIver's off her line here. Is it Gio? What an opportunity. Oh. And it's Leila Wahabi to the rescue. Really well picked up from the youngster Gio. Morgan not able to defend, and McIver really stranded. What an opportunity. Well, on paper, Manchester City were the out-and-out favourites, but they were made to work so hard by a much improved Everton. But in the end, City too good, but they were made to work. It was Everton 1, Manchester City 2.
I thought we managed the game quite well, and again, I've said to the players, if we can't go and win that 3 or 4-1 with the chances that we had, we need to do the dirty stuff and make sure we see the game out properly at the end. I'm impressed with that City team. I think they play, they play really good. So that we are actually that close, that's positive. So we just, we need to keep working, keep grinding, and then hopefully we can close that gap.
I mean, a great result for City, but week in, week out, Bunny Shaw is showing why she's so integral to that squad, Anita.
Yeah, absolutely. Since Ellen White retired, she's really taken on that role in the front line and taken responsibility for scoring goals, but also assisting. But in this game, she was able to stretch this Everton defence because she's such a willing runner as well into the space behind the defence, and that pulls out the Everton centre-back. And again, it forces a very good save from Ramsey. And this happened all afternoon. Again, wing backs getting drawn out because they're going 1-for-1, centre backs getting split apart, and here such an unselfish thing to slide the ball into Blackstad's path for an easy tap in.
That's quite confident footballing, isn't it? When you know that you can really empower everybody in that team to be able to do what they need to do. But Everton, they responded and they came back, Lydia.
Yeah, and I think you see that fight in a lot of Everton's performances this season. But a set play opportunity here that they've taken, and Saveka starts at the front post, begins to pull out and opens herself up to be able to get the second contact there, which is key. And I think Man City will probably be disappointed not to have made the clearance and moved that ball out of that dangerous area. But a great opportunity for Everton to get themselves level.
And when when they are level, Bunny Shaw decides, actually, you know what, I haven't scored my goal yet. So she decides that she's her time now.
Yeah, it starts with this front press here. Man City, they set up the trap. Everton are very committed to building up play low in their half, and you've got to be so tight with that possession if you're going to do that. Here they steal the ball. It's a wonderful strike from Laura Coombs here, and Bunny Shaw's the first to come alive and react and put the ball back into the net.
I mean, she scored in every WSL game this season. We're looking at something really special here with Bunny Shaw, aren't we?
This is a player that's full of confidence right now, and she's actually thriving on taking the responsibility for, contributing to goals and assisting as well.
Everton, though, there were good chances there. They had to take positives from their performance today, and you could hear, Sorensen speaking about that, Lydia.
Yeah, I think what Brian's done is build a squad with quite a lot of depth, and you can see here at half-time they bring on Aggie Beaver-Jones, and immediately she stretches the back line and creates herself an opportunity here where she might be able to kind of square it, but goes for the shot. And in the second half, he's able to make substitutes like Gio, who's on loan from Arsenal. Again, her pace is a threat there, but there's some great recovery defending from City to make sure that opportunity isn't capitalised on.
Well, great stuff. Well, it's time to round up the remaining WSL sides, starting with Liverpool's trip to Brighton, and Flo Pollock, she can bring us the best of the action.
Brighton suffered their biggest ever WSL defeat in their last home match, losing 8-0 to Spurs. And the signs didn't look good for the hosts when Missy Bo-Kearns gave Liverpool the lead after just 17 minutes. Moments later, though, Amy Merrick's side were level, Katie Robinson with the cross, Elizabeth Turland with the precise header. The Seagulls suddenly had the momentum, and when Jasmine Matthews handled Julia Zagotti-Olm's shot, the referee had no doubt and pointed to the spot. Up stepped Danielle Carter to give Brighton the lead. The hosts extended their advantage midway through the first half. Robinson again finding space on the right. This time her effort deceived the goalkeeper to nestle in the back of the net. With 14 minutes remaining, Liverpool pulled one back. Substitute Shanice van der Sanden on the end of Emma Kavisto's cross to set up a frantic finish. Deep into stoppage time, and Matt Beard's side had their equaliser. Van der Sanden with the assist this time, Rachel Furness rescuing a point, putting an end to Liverpool's 6-match losing run. Aston Villa hadn't beaten Reading in all 4 of their previous WSL meetings and found themselves trailing to the visitors. Inside 10 minutes, Natasha Dowie with the assist, Lauren Wade with the finish. The hosts were always in the match, though, and eventually got an equaliser on the 37th minute. Rachel Corsie with the cross, Rachel Daly arrowing her header past Jacqueline Burns in the Royals' goal. And Villa went ahead just before the break, Daly finding space at the near post to head home her second of the game. It went from bad to worse for Reading when Burns brought down the on-rushing Kirsty Hansen. The referee in no doubt. Red card for the Reading goalkeeper. The hosts made their numerical advantage count moments later. Gemma Evans with the challenge on Daly. Penalty to Villa. Sealing off her excellent performance, Daly slotted past substitute keeper Grace Maloney to secure her hat-trick and all 3 points.
Perfect Sunday, if you ask me. Yeah, it was a massive 3 points for us today. We really needed that. We knew what Reading were going to bring. We knew what we needed to do. But the girls performed today, and I thought, individually and collectively we were excellent.
A cagey first half produced little goal-mouth action. Leicester's best effort not till the second half. Carrie Jones with the near-post header. Ashley Plumtree unable to find the net from the rebound. The deadlock was eventually broken on the 88th minute. Viviane Asseyi finding Izzy Atkinson, who made space before beating Demi Lambourne. If not for a vital goal line clearance from Kate Longhurst, the Foxes would surely have claimed their first point of the season, but the Hammers held on for the win.
Fantastic 3 points. Listen, the game wasn't the prettiest, but again, my team showed desire, togetherness to keep the ball out the net, especially at the end when Leicester had a few chances, but every single one of them wanted to keep that ball out the net and to dig in to get the 3 points.
You can see Paul Konchesky there, completely made up with that result. But for you, Lydia, watching your old squad, your old team, your reflections and thoughts since leaving the club?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, when I stepped into the job in December, the main aim was to keep them in the WSL, which we were able to do. And I think this season, you know, in those first 6 games, real fine margins which defined the results. And hopefully today, you know, there's been another tough result for them, but I know the group of players that they'll stick together and keep pushing. And for you, in terms of the opportunities that may come your way now, are you pretty much open to different opportunities? Yeah, really open. You know, it's important for me that the next opportunity is one which pushes me on as a coach, and I'm just, yeah, really open to what might come next. And I bet it was really frustrating for the Foxes there. You could probably, you know, give us some insight into how they might have been feeling after that loss today. I think that will hurt. Again, you know, it's a last-minute goal from West Ham, but they pushed after that moment to try and give themselves an opportunity to get back in the game. 2 quite good chances towards the end, so they've got to take some positives from that and take that into the next few games. Brilliant stuff. And in terms of last-minute goals, Liverpool, Brighton, a great result over there, Anita, and a fantastic for Liverpool to finally get a point since the first day of the season.
Well, I've been impressed with Liverpool throughout the season so far. I think they're a side that has a lot about them and able to have the mentality to keep going and find that equalise at the end of the game, and it shows they've missed players like Van der Sanden, obviously the missing Kiernan, who also make a massive difference to the side. And for Brighton as well, for them, you know, a bit of transition, a bit of change, so this is a good result surely for them. It's a good result for them, but you know they're going to have question marks about conceding the number of goals they concede in every game, that they've got to tighten up in those situations, especially when they get goals against the teams they really want to be picking points off. And we heard from Rachel Daly there. She's described it as the perfect Sunday, Lydia, but what a signing for Aston Villa Rachel Daly's been. She's just on absolute fire. Yeah, she's been a fantastic signing for them. I think 8 goals now so far this season. I mean, England played her up front, you know, in the international break as well, and I think she's really made a mark on that Villa side, and in the key moments in games, she steps up and puts the ball in the back of the net when it's needed. And it's for you, when you watch, you know, your old squad, Villa there, you must be thinking, wow, you'd love to play alongside Rachel. Of course, as a defender, when the ball is going forward and all the momentum, and you've got players like that who just make things happen, and you know, she's so clinical when she gets into those situations. Fantastic. Well, what a title race we have now in the Barclays Women's Super League. Chelsea sit at the top, 3 points clear of Arsenal and Manchester United, having played a game more. Aston Villa, with their 4th win of the campaign, sit 5th, with West Ham up to 6th. Leicester, they remain on bottom, still without a point. Sheffield United were celebrating a record attendance for the Barclays Women's Championship. 11,137 fans were at Bramwell Lane to see the Blades take on London City Lionesses, but it was the away side that spoiled the occasion with goals in each half from Amy Rogers and Atlanta Primus. Elsewhere in the Championship, Lewis were 1-0 winners away at Sunderland. Coventry United suffered a 5-1 defeat at home to Durham. Blackburn and Southampton drew 1-1. Charlton, they beat Crystal Palace, and Bristol City lost their first game of the season, beaten 1-0 at home by Birmingham. So let's see what that means for the table then. And London City Lionesses sit at the top, nudging Bristol City down to 2nd place. Southampton a point further, back in 3rd. Birmingham are up to 5th. Sheffield United, Sunderland and Coventry City, they've got a bit of work to do down there at the bottom. The FIFA Men's World Cup is finally here. Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer and Michael Richards are back with their Match of the Day Top 10 World Cup specials, available now on the iPlayer. BBC Sounds has the World Cup daily for you, with analysis, debate and news from Qatar, plus reports from inside the England and Wales camps. And on Monday, Gareth Southgate's side get their tournament underway.
We all love the World Cup. But a funny thing happens during the World Cup, where we're not really our, well, usual selves. Mothers listen less. Neighbours talk too much. Lovers are more distant. It's the World Cup, though.
Starts this weekend with England v Iran, live on Monday across the BBC.
And the World Cup is finally here. I know that you're going to have England and Ghana in your back pocket as well. But for England, in terms of their performance and their success, what does that look like for you?
I think it's going to be a difficult tournament for them. You know, our expectations are very high, especially after the Euros get into a final. But you know, I expect them to maybe reach the quarter-final at best.
Quarter-final. And Lydia, for yourself, where do you see England landing?
I mean, I think the pressure's on them to follow in the footsteps of the women this summer. So I'm going to go big and strong and say that they're going to go and win it.
They're going to win the World Cup, and Lydia said it. That's all from the Women's Football Show. We're back in 2 weeks' time with more WSL action. It's all very tight at the top as Arsenal dropped their first points of the season thanks to a 3-star performance from Manchester United. A massive thank you to Anita and to Lydia, but from us, it's bye for now.
Well, it could be a Saturday night blockbuster. It's Ella Toone. Millie Turner turns up trumps for United. Is it again? It is a red letter day for Manchester United.